If you're making a move to Temecula, California, you're going to want to watch this video. It's all about finding the right neighborhood and the right part of town for you and your family. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hey guys, hey again, my name is Justin Short. I am a realtor and team leader for the Short Real Estate team here in Temecula, California and Murrieta, California. And again, this video is all about helping you guys find the right neighborhood to live in here in the city of Temecula. So we're gonna give you some pros and cons, kind of give you some things to look out for and hopefully help narrow down the search for you and your family for the right area to live in. But the first thing, if you are liking this video and you wanna see more videos like this, please do me a favor, please hit like, please hit subscribe so it helps me, it helps the channel. Our goal is to put out videos like this each week, talking about different parts of town, talking about the pros and the cons of different neighborhoods, comparing the city of Temecula to some of the surrounding areas, and cost of living, all that type of stuff. So if you're liking it, like I said, please go ahead and follow along. And if you are thinking about making a move here, or if you have any real estate questions, we definitely would love to hear from you guys. We have people that reach out to us all the time, so you can feel free to call, text, or email. Myself and my team, we're definitely here and available. We'd love to help you out with the search, and would love to answer any questions that you may have. So, but let's go ahead and we'll get into the video here. So, again, so today we're going to be talking about some of the different neighborhoods and hopefully helping able to guide you guys into the right part of town. And so we have helped a lot of people relocate here to the city of Temecula and the kind of the surrounding areas in South Riverside County, right? So we've had a lot of people locate from other parts of Southern California, from LA, San Diego, Orange County. We've had a lot of people come from Northern California, by Bay Area, or of course, all types of different states, right? And when people they don't know the area and they're thinking about making a move here, the first question that they ask is, what's the best neighborhood, or where should I be living, or what area do I really want to stay away from? And the truthful answer is, well, it depends, right? And so there's pros and cons to each neighborhood, just like there's pros and cons to different cities, right? Some people are going to love living in Southern California, and some people are going to love living in New York City, right? And those are going to be two different people, but they're going to have different priorities in life, and that's really what I found to be the case here in the city of Temecula. So the truth of it is, most of the city is very similar as far as the year built. All the homes in the city have really been built from the mid 90s until the mid 2000s, I guess 2012, 2015. There's some outliers, there's some older ones, there's some newer ones, there's still some new construction that's still wrapping up today. But most of the homes are kind of built in that box, right? And so with that, they're on the newer side. We don't have old homes that are kind of crummy and fallen down. We don't have structural issues. We don't have electrical issues. We don't have a lot of roofing issues. We don't have any of those types of things, right? And overall, the city is very well kept, right? So city of Temecula has done a really good job keeping the area clean, keeping it safe. It's continually one of the safest cities in the United States, keeping the school district great, keeping the shopping centers up great. I mean, it's overall, it's very well kept, and that really overflows into most of the suburban areas and throughout the city. So I would say it'd be very rare to drive through a neighborhood and you're like, oh man, this is real crummy here in the city of Temecula. I wouldn't want to live here. I think I don't know if that really exists, or if so, it's probably just a handful of streets here in the city that I would personally feel that way. So overall, most of the city, it's going to be a pretty decent area. However, you're going to have different priorities based on what you as a homeowner, or what your quality of life is going to look like, and what your daily routine is going to look like. So what I wanted to do is kind of come up with some criteria about a lot of people that make a move here, and kind of what their situation may be, and hopefully based on that, I can help give some recommendations on what areas you want to stick in, what areas you want to avoid, etc. So I've mentioned it, and so we'll go kind of situation one here. I've mentioned this in a lot of my other videos, but a lot of people move here to the city of Temecula, but they don't work here. So they live here and they commute out. So they go to San Diego, LA, Orange County. I would say most people do commute south to San Diego. So most people live here in Temecula, commute south to San Diego. They're on the road each day. And if that is the case, if you are going to commute to San Diego, you are definitely going to want to try to buy a home in South Temecula. Okay, and so what that means, if you look at a map, right, you look at a map of the Temecula Valley, there's a 15 freeway that runs north and south. You'll see a road, it's an off-ramp off of the freeway, that's Temecula Parkway, and sometimes you'll see it as Highway 79 South, but it's Temecula Parkway, and then anything south of Temecula Parkway would be considered, South Temecula. There's a lot of pros to that area. It has some of the nicest neighborhoods, yes. It is zoned for the best high school in the area, etc. But more importantly, if you're commuting to San Diego, that it's going to drastically shorten your commute. So people that live in South Temecula and commute to San Diego, as opposed to people that live on the other side of town, they probably drive on average between 20 to 25 minutes less each way. So that could be an additional 40 minutes to 60 minutes a day savings just by being on the right side of town. And that's a big deal, right? If you're already commuting, 45 minutes, if you can save more time off of that commute, you're going to want to do that. The con to that area, it's a little bit more expensive. It's actually the most expensive section of Temecula as far as, I guess on average, it's a good rule of thumb. South Temecula is more expensive than the other parts of town. But if you can afford it, it's in the budget and you're commuting south, being in South Temecula is definitely going to be a big plus for you. All right, and then we'll talk about scenario 2. So if you're moving to Temecula and the main reason you want to move here is to be close to the wineries, then there's really a certain part of town that you're going to want to live in. So the city of Temecula has grown so much over the last 20 years, especially, since I was a kid, since I went to high school and whatnot out here, it's changed a ton. We have a ton of tourism, and really one of the main reasons for that is Temecula wine country, right? So it's really, people travel from all over for all types of get-togethers or wine tastings or bachelorette parties or weddings or all types of different stuff, right? But it's much more of a destination. So we've had a lot of clients that when they make a move here, the reason that Temecula got on their radar is about wine country, right? They're winos, right? They're all into the wineries. They love doing the wine tours. They love doing all that type of stuff. So if that's you and the wineries are a big deal and you want to live close to the wineries, really what that means is you want to live as close to Rancho California Road as possible. So Rancho California Road is a main road, right through the middle of the city of Temecula. It runs east and west. There's an off-ramp right off of the 15 freeway, and if you can live right off of Rancho California Road, that's going to put you as close as possible to the wineries. So if that's a big deal for you, that's where you want to stay. All right, and then the third situation that I want to talk about and kind of what a potential buyer might be looking for is a lot of times when people are coming here, they only want to purchase a new construction home or something very, very lightly used. So a lot of times the conversation's like, hey, I know Temecula's kind of started being built in the 90s and then we still have some new construction now. Yes, that's correct. But they're adamant, hey, we just like the new layouts. We like the open concept. We like the new construction. We like the idea of solar panels being on there. We like the tankless water heaters, we like the big open great room, etc. Right? And so they've kind of decided that they only want a new home. And usually, if that's the case, you're looking for a home that's kind of built in 2010 or newer. So within the last 10 or 12 years, or new construction, right? And so if that's the case, if you're looking for a new construction home, really there's just a few neighborhoods that you're going to want to focus on. So probably the main one is going to be Summers Bend. So that's the master plan new home community that is currently being built. So this is 2023. The construction's been going on for about a year and a half or so. There's probably about another year and a half still going. There's 55 plus communities. So you have to be over the age of 55 to live in a certain section that's gated. There's a non-age restricted portion of the community, which is probably 70% of the community. There are small single family homes. They are now building condos, they're building townhomes, they're building duplexes. There's kind of a mix of everything. But if you are looking for new construction, Summers Bend is probably going to be your best bet. Or some of the other communities that you might want to check out is going to be some of the other kind of main newer ones. So which would be Morgan Hill. So Morgan Hill is a really, really nice community. It's probably the premium community in Temecula that's located in South Temecula. So again, if you're commuting south, that's another plus. Or Wolf Creek might be another community that you're really going to want to check out. So that's also South Temecula. It's just a little bit closer to the freeway. If you're looking on a map, it's very close to the Pechanga Casino. So those are going to be the areas that really recommend if you were looking for new construction. All right, and then the fourth scenario that I want to talk to you about is a potential home buyer that wants to make a move here and they want to buy a home that's zoned for the best high school in the area. So this is actually a call that I get all the time. People are thinking about making a move here and they either have kids that are of high school age or are close to being in high school, going to be in high school soon, and the parents are kind of adamant that, hey, we want to live where the best high school is here in the area. And if that's the case, where you're going to want to live that's going to be in South Temecula. So that's the same area that I was just talking about a few minutes ago. If you're commuting south, you want to live there as well. But South Temecula is right off Temecula Parkway. Anything south of Temecula Parkway or 79 South is considered South Temecula. And the reason that you want to be there is that's where Great Oak High School is zoned for. So Great Oak High School is the highest rated school and the highest rated high school in the area. I think it's the highest rated high school in the whole valley. I'm pretty sure that's a fact. But super, super highly rated. We have a lot of people that will move here just for their kid to go to high school. They move for 4 years, kid graduates, and boom, they take off out of town. So that's a big deal for people. So if you want the best high school, you want to be in South Temecula. All right, and then the fifth scenario that I want to talk to you about is someone that wants to make a move here, and their criteria is they just want to be in the best neighborhood, right? And so this is a lot of people kind of have this mindset, right? We're going to make a move to Temecula. Maybe it's especially these are the conversations. Hey, maybe it's more affordable than the city that I'm currently in now. So if I'm going to move to Temecula, I want to be in the best area. I want to be in the most desirable neighborhood, the place where everyone wants to be, right? And so if that's the case, really the criteria that we help them narrow that down to is they want to either look in the neighborhood of Morgan Hill, Crown Hill, Paseo del Sol, or Wolf Creek. So, but those are really the premium neighborhoods here in town. The prices tend to be a little bit higher than some of the other neighborhoods, but they're on the newer side. They're super, super well kept. The HOAs are really nice, and there's definitely, those are the premium neighborhoods in town for sure. All right, and then the sixth scenario that I want to talk to you guys about is just all about horse property. So if you're thinking about making a move to Temecula and you want to own a home with horses or maybe other types of small animals, etc., right? You want a little bit of property to be able to have horse stalls and a corral and all that type of stuff. There's really just a few areas that you're going to want to take a look at. So you're going to want to look in Santiago Estates, you're going to want to look in Los Ranchitos, or you're going to want to look out in the wine country area. Those are really the few areas where there are larger lots, right? So usually anywhere from about 1/3 of an acre up to about an acre for the first two, and then wine country kind of starts about 2 acres up to 6, 8, 10 acres, right? So you definitely get more land out that way. There is a small pocket of horse properties in Meadowview, which is kind of central, kind of close to the mall. So some people have horses that are there as well. There's not as many of those larger lots that kind of fit that, but it could be done there as well. One thing I will mention, if you want horse property, where it probably is not going to be a great area, is living in the area of Duluth. So if you look on a map, kind of it's on the west side of the 15 freeway. It can be hard to tell this when you don't live here, right? You don't realize it, but you'll see big lots that are really spaced out. They're anywhere from 4 acres to 8, 10, 20 acres, right? So plenty of land for sure, but you can't tell when you're looking at a map is the topography of that area is not great for horses at all. So super hilly, super green. It's just not a lot of flat areas where you're gonna need flat areas for horses, right? You gotta have the corrals and all that type of stuff. So I would probably stick away from Duluth if you were just looking for horse property. All right, and then the seventh criteria that I want to talk to you guys about is someone that's going to make a move here. They want privacy. They don't want a cookie cutter tract home. They want kind of a grand home with a big property, but they don't care about horse property, right? So if you don't care about having the flat usable area for horses, you want some awesome views. You want to be able to see for miles and miles. You want privacy, etc. In that case, just the exact opposite. What I just said is you probably do want to check out Duluth. So Duluth, it's kind of on the west side, it's up in the hills, it's very, very pretty, it's green, it's just not very flat, it's very hilly, just like the overall topography of it, and you can get some really, really awesome homes. They're all custom built properties up there, and you can get a lot of acreage for the money. You just may not be always super flat and usable, so keep that in mind. All right, and then the eighth and last scenario that I want to talk to you guys about is if you're thinking about making a move here and you absolutely do not want an HOA, what's going to be the best area for you? So this is a case for a lot of people. A lot of when I talk to people and I say, hey, that neighborhood has an HOA, it's $40, $100, $200 a month, and they have some rules. They're like, absolutely not. I would never live in an HOA. No one's telling me what to do with my home, right? And that's a big thing for people. So if that's the case, you do not want to live in an HOA, and really that does limit a lot of the city for you. So, but there are a few neighborhoods here that have no HOA that are still nicer, that are well kept, and that I really recommend to people if you want to stay away from an HOA. So those areas, so I would be like the Red Hawk area, so which is in South Temecula. It's kind of in the middle section of South Temecula. Most of Red Hawk does not have an HOA, or at that point also Central Temecula, so which is really more off of that Rancho California road, kind of close to wine country area, etc. But a lot of those neighborhoods do not have an HOA as well. So, but if that's the case, just make sure you mention that to your realtor, or if you're on the home portals, you're doing your search, you want to make sure you filter out by HOA, because I would say in Temecula, probably 65–70% of different neighborhoods do have an HOA, so that's a big thing for you. You want to make sure you pay attention to that. So hopefully that gives you guys some good references. And if you are thinking about making a move here, there's going to be pros and cons for everybody, right? I think most of the city is an absolutely great place to live, but if you have certain criteria, right, you're gonna not every neighborhood is gonna be right for you. So hopefully that helps. If you guys have any questions, you can feel free to reach out. Again, if you're liking the videos, hit like, hit subscribe, and hopefully talk to you guys soon. Thanks.